Welcome to the Wind Up with Will, everyone. I'm your host, Will, here, and today I'm going to be briefly talking about the national championship game that was Monday night. The Indiana Hoosiers faced the Miami Hurricanes. Um, it was a great national championship game. It was one of the most viewed college football games over the last 10 plus years. I think in the college football playoff era, it's the second most viewed game, only behind the national championship between Ohio State and Oregon the first year of the playoffs. There was over 30 million people that watched this game. Phenomenal. And Indiana had this amazing story. Um, Storybook season. As Kurt Signetti said, it would make one heck of a movie, and it did. This game lived up to it. Indiana pulls out the win in this 27-21. If I could if I knew how to edit all, I would edit highlights in and show you a few of the highlights. This game was phenomenal. Indiana got up to a 10-0 lead and looked like, hey, they might just run away with this like they have other games. It's 10-0 in halftime. Is me, being a Notre Dame fan, pulling for Indiana. I felt pretty good. Then early in the third quarter, Miami scores a 57-yard touchdown run by Mark Fletcher. Make it 10-7. All of a sudden, it's a little dicey of a game. Indiana ends up scoring a pretty quick touchdown later on in the third quarter, make it 17-7. Miami responds with another Mark Fletcher touchdown run, 17-14. Then Indiana scores. What to me is the play of this game. You'll see this play immortalized. You'll see it on replays 20, 30 years from now. All I and on fourth and in the fourth quarter, Indiana had the ball. They converted a fourth down conversion already. It got down to. I'm gonna pull up the play by play so I get this right. Is a 12 play, 75-yard drive that took over 5 minutes. Um, Miami got Indiana to 4th and 5 at the Miami 37, and then Indiana rolled the dice and went for it. This is going to be a long field goal. Miami's starting to score. We need to be able to convert and win here. And they went for it. Mendoza completes a 19-yard pass to Charlie Becker, who had so many great catches in this game along the sidelines, back shoulder passes. And so many times Indiana ran this play. And the people I was watching with, my friend Logan, like he kept saying, like, they're just going to keep doing this until Miami can stop it. So they complete on fourth down. They keep moving forward. They eventually get to Miami's 12-yard line. It's 4th and 4, and they go for it again. We're not going to settle for the field goal and only be up 6. When it's the fourth quarter, there's 9 minutes left. Miami could drive the whole length of the field, and no time's left, and Indiana loses the game. So they go for it on fourth down, and Mendoza has one of the as I was saying, that you'll see this play forever. One of the all-time runs and one of the biggest moments in the biggest game of the season. 4th and 4 at the Miami 12. Mendoza runs it up the middle, zigzags between some defenders, gets a block or two, gets the first down, takes a hit, spins, leaps for the end zone, and gets hit as he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. And all I could think the entire time he's doing the run is this is Vince Young. This is Vince Young in the 2005 national championship game against USC. It was the 2005 season. I think the game was actually in 06. But all I could think was Vince Young in the national championship game against USC at the very end, 30 seconds left, runs to the corner of the end zone, and that famous call, Young to the corner of the end zone, and he's got it. That's all I could think. Like, that is one of those plays. It's not quite at the end of the game. There's still 9 minutes left in the game, but that was so huge to convert there and to score the touchdown and to go up 10, to maybe put the game out of reach. And just the getting hit, the spin, getting hit again as he dives into the end zone. That, like, people talked about, this is going to be on pictures, on posters, on people's walls forever. Like, that is one of the all-time moments. And so many other people I've talked to said the same thing of, all they could think of was, yes, it was Vince Young. Yeah, when I would bring up it, all I could think of was Vince Young. They said, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And just a phenomenal, phenomenal play in the game. Just that play is going to be iconic forever. And then very next drive, it was a good thing they went for it and got the touchdown there. Very next drive, Miami goes down the field, scores a touchdown. Let me get the game cast back up. Miami goes down the field, scores a touchdown. Malachi Tony, 22-yard pass, 24-21. The game is still going on. Indiana goes down the field. They kick a 58 or sorry, how long? Sorry, 35-yard field goal to go up six. They got stopped. I think it was like 4th and 10, so they didn't go for it. So they kicked the field goal, go up six with a minute 42 left. And I'm thinking there's still so much time on the clock, and Miami's showing they can make some big plays. I would hate it if Miami scored the touchdown with so little time left. Indiana couldn't do anything, and they start going down the field. And they get up the play by play for that. Then 5 plays, they start moving down there's a 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer. It gets them to the Miami 35. They complete 11-yard pass, so they're near midfield. There's a 7-yard pass that gets them across midfield, and I'm thinking this is going to be whether they can score a touchdown on like the last play of the game. And my friend Logan is watching the game with me. He comments and says, it would be absolutely horrible, for Carson Beck to throw an interception on this last drive, and that's all he's remembered for Miami. And it's not. Why is it not showing it? Oh, there it is. Um, uh, so he throws a deep pass, and as it leaves his hand, I'm watching the receiver. I'm like, oh no, that's going to be in the. It's underthrown. The defender undercuts it, intercepts it. Who is the guy? Sharp was the defender who made the interception, and I was just like, yes. And you just saw the reaction by the crowd. I think they said it was still like it was a majority of Indiana fans in the University of Miami's home stadium for the national championship game. Absolutely phenomenal reaction. You just watch the reaction of Hoosiers fans on the internet, on social media, the reactions of them on the Mendoza run and then the interception in the game. Just you have to be excited for them. They've never experienced this before. Indiana was the losingest football program of all time coming into this season, and now they're national champions. That is incredible. And as some people jokingly said, Phil Knight with Oregon has got to be so sick to his stomach of how much he has spent trying to lift up Oregon football, and yet Indiana has done it like that. And I mean no disrespect to Oregon, but that's just what people were saying on the internet. Um, but phenomenal, and I maybe shouldn't have said anything there, but absolutely phenomenal season by Indiana. Go 16-0. They're the first team to go 16-0 in the modern era. And the only other team to go 16-0 in college football was, I think it was 1894 Yale team. Phenomenal season. They win 27-21. Um, they just showed they showed that they're the most complete team from offense to defense. I really don't know why. I guess I know why. Some people just because they look at them, well, it's Indiana, they're the losingest team of all time. There's no way they're going to win. But to me, I even underestimate them. I said they go 9-3 this year and miss the playoffs and get in a decent bowl game. But they went 16-0. They proved all the haters wrong. They proved me wrong, and they went and won the national championship. I will say I was kind of close. I said Notre Dame would win the national championship, so it was a team from the state of Indiana. So I was close. Not really, but I think it was. I think this is one of the awesome stories, and I would not be surprised in 20 or 30 years if there's a movie about this team. As Kurt Signe said, it would make one heck of a movie, and this is the most storybook ending to a college football season that I can ever remember, and that probably anyone can ever remember. That this team is the national champions, and what a way to go out. And you can't write the story any better. Mendoza grew up in Miami, rooting for the Miami Hurricanes. He wanted to play for them. They didn't recruit him. He ends up going to California, the only school that gives him an offer, and then I think they had a transfer coming in that was going to play over him, so he decides to leave. Ends up going to Indiana and wins the Heisman, wins the national championship. in Miami, in his hometown, playing against his hometown team. Like, this is the most storybook ending. This is like Disney would not write a story like this because they would say it'd be unbelievable. And yet, this is how the season unfolded. It's absolutely phenomenal. I've enjoyed watching Indiana play this year, and I look forward to seeing them be competitive for what seems like years to come with Kurt Cignetti, who looks like he's the best coach in college football. Just being able to turn that program around and win. Um, but I thought it was a phenomenal game, and I was happy for Indiana and their fans. I do feel a little bit for Carson Beck, just throwing an interception in your career like that. But Miami's going to be good again next year. They've got some of their defensive line coming back. Their offensive line is going to be good. I think they've got a good offensive lineman coming in. Miami is going to be good. As people were saying even after the game, Miami is back. They are relevant again. But Indiana is here now. Indiana has won. Indiana is at the top of the college football world, and it's made a lot of people rethink their thoughts on the pecking order in college football. It's the third straight year the Big Ten has won a national title. Third straight year the SEC not only didn't win a championship, they didn't even play in the championship game. So this is, this is hard for some of the SEC fans, and there's certain people who are very upset about this. I know Josh Pate put like a clown nose on and said he, was wrong, and I know Paul Feinbaum came out and apologized, and Paul Feinbaum should. He's made a fool of himself the last few weeks of how he's acted about Indiana and the superiority of the SEC. And regardless of who, and this is the thing with college sports, it changes from year to year. Next year, the SEC could be on top again. Texas could be the best team in college football, or Georgia, or even Alabama. You never know. Just how injuries fall, how recruitment and transfers work out. You never know. So we don't know that, but it is very interesting that the power dynamic has shifted now, where the SEC is not the dominant conference that it once was, and we're seeing it's the third straight Big Ten team to win the national championship game, and um, that the power dynamics have shifted. This is an era of more parity in college football than there ever has been. And I think that's honestly a good thing. I think it's good that you don't see Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State in the national championship every year. That was really stale during the four-team era. And as you saw, like if you look at a graph, I saw a graph earlier today of the viewership continued to go down for the national championship game because it was the same three teams in it essentially every year. It was at least one of those three teams. Often it was two of those three teams in the national championship, and people that gets boring. It's not fun and it's entertaining, and I think it's good that you're getting different teams in the championship and I think that's what a 12. That's what the playoff I think was designed to show is maybe not designed to show, but what it has allowed is to other teams can win it. It's not just a handful of teams. Anyone can win it. The last two seasons, we have had Notre Dame, who was a 7 seed in the championship, Ohio State, who was an 8 seed last year. We had a 10 seed Miami make it this year. It just goes to show you that college football, there's a lot more parity than ever before, and that an expanded playoffs was very much needed. So, that get off my, just kind of talking about. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here, but I wanted to talk about Indiana and just what a phenomenal season they had. I think it's awesome that they won, and I'm excited to see where this program goes. And I know Notre Dame. I've got my Notre Dame toboggan over there. They play Indiana in a few years, and maybe they'll have a rematch in the playoffs next year. Maybe the championship game. Who knows? But that's all I've got on this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the national championship game? What do you think of the shifting of uh, power among the conferences? Is the Big Ten better than the SEC now? Is the SEC still the best conference? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.